greatly honored to be receiving the Amsterdam Graduate Teaching Award, particularly as I'm being recognized alongside such talented graduate students and faculty at George Washington University.
It seems like so much of the hard work in teaching happens behind the scenes, and it wasn't ever clear to me that someone could really see what I was doing and what I was putting into my teaching. And so I'm just so grateful to see that I have that recognition now and that someone noticed and someone appreciated it.
From the beginning of my time here at GW, I have put as much emphasis into my teaching as I have into my research, and so to see that it has been effective and the students feel that they are getting something out of it is really a very nice honor.
Over the years, I've tried increasingly to incorporate approaches from my own research into the classroom. In terms of actual approaches, I try to vary the activities that I do in the classroom. So sometimes I bring in video clips or documentary clips. Sometimes I use music from the period that we're discussing. Sometimes we talk about propaganda image. I also really like using interactive maps. Students are engaged in a different way through interactive maps. But as a historian, I almost always return to primary source documents. I like to do a close analysis of primary sources or pieces of primary sources that I put up on the board with my students in order to have them analyze them and develop their own ideas with regard to what's important and what should be stressed in those materials or what we should get out of those materials.
The most fulfilling thing for me in teaching is seeing where students are and figuring out how to get them to where I want them to be. A lot of times that happens in class, like if I'm using the Socratic method, leading through questions, I'll get back a lot of blank stares, and then I know that I really need to step it back, maybe try a little slower, maybe with different wording, maybe I need to draw a new diagram on the board. But really where it happens is in a one-on-one setting when students come into my office hours. And I really love it when they come into my office hours because there I can see their partially completed work and I can really see their thought process and say, aha, I get it. This is where you are. Now I know how to get you to where you need to be.
The most energizing and fulfilling teaching experiences that I've had in the classroom here at GW are when I'm able to take some sort of creativity from the students and maybe something that they can pull from another classroom or another skill set and bring it into my classroom and the assignments. I teach a lot of biology and anthropology classes, so they tend to be very science-based, and when I'm able to kind of tap into that other part of a student's mind or passions, it creates really interesting projects that tend to inspire others in the classroom as well.
This past semester, I had the opportunity to teach a course with a fellowship from the Dean's Office, and I taught a course on the global 1960s. I decided in designing that course that I wanted to bring in assignments that had digital humanities components, so I had my students engage in creation of digital timeline assignments where they were able to draw on media, on speeches, on video clips, on mapping projects, and bring all of these resources that they are familiar with and see every day on the internet into their projects to complement the research that they were doing for their final research paper.
Cognitive psychologists have made a lot of progress in understanding how humans learn. Testing students before they actually learn the material helps them learn the material better. And students hate this. They show up to the test and they say, we've never learned this. But actually it's part of the learning process. The testing itself, it's not just assessment, it's actually part of the teaching.
One technique that I found particularly useful in teaching is trying to create a classroom environment where students feel comfortable. I understand that as the instructor, I technically have the most knowledge and am the expert in a subject, but I've found that when I am able to make a classroom feel as open as possible and give students a lot of agency and have them feel that they are also experts in the subject, having that back and forth and having it be more of a conversation in the classroom than just me telling them information has really helped students, in my experience, open up and feel comfortable talking with me and with each other.
I have such inspiring students that bring a deep level of knowledge and passion into the classroom. It's been really rewarding to teach them. In the long term, I would like to become a professor and to continue pursuing my own research agenda. I'm currently working on revising my book manuscript, so that's the next big project.
I would love to become a professor. I love teaching and I love research. The truth is, though, it's hard to find that balance right now as a graduate student. I feel accountable to the students in my teaching, and so I give the teaching the priority. I give the teaching my time, and I still need to do the research. The research is what will help me also become a professor, so both come into play.
My future aspirations are definitely to stay in academia and to keep improving my teaching skills, and hopefully one day be able to be a professor at a small liberal arts school where I can focus mostly on teaching. I am currently accepted into a postdoctoral fellowship where I will be combining my research skills gained through the research side of my dissertation at GW with the teaching skills that I gained, where I will specifically be looking at STEM education and measuring how effective different teaching techniques are in the classroom.